see, this guy is very naughty. So he's a perpetual nuisance for me. So understanding all this, mother, the brother is taking Fatih to Calcutta, his home, to educate him there. So from here the story starts. So he was very happy. Fatih was very happy to go to Calcutta, but there he was greeted by his aunt. He was introduced to the aunt and their 3 boys. Soon he understood he is not welcome guy in that family. So the story starts, the rest of the story is like this. It was anguish to Fatih to be unwelcome guest in his aunt's house, despised by this elderly woman and slighted on every occasion. If ever she asked him to do anything for her, he would be also overjoyed and that he would overdo it. And then she would tell him not to be so stupid, but to get on with his lessons. The cramped atmosphere of neglect oppressed Fatih so much that he felt that he could hardly breathe. He wanted to go out into the open country and fill his lungs with fresh air, but there was no open country to go to. Surrounded on all sides by Calcutta houses and walls, he would dream night after night of his village home and longed to be back there. He remembered the glorious meadow where he used to fly his kite all day long. The broad river bank where he would wander about the livelong day singing and shouting for joy. The narrow brook where he could go and dive and swim at any time he liked. He thought of his band of boy companions over whom he was a despot, and above all the memory of that tyrant mother of his who had such a prejudice against him, occupied him day and night. A kind of physical love like that of animals, a longing to be in the presence of the one who is loved, an inexpressible wistfulness during absence, a silent cry of the inmost heart for the mother, like the lowing of a calf in the twilight. This love, which was almost an animal instinct, agitated the shy, nervous, lean, uncouth and ugly boy. No one could understand it, but it preyed upon his mind continually. There was no more backward boy in the whole school than Fatih. He gaped and remained silent when the teacher asked him a question, and like an overladen ass, patiently suffered all the blows that came down on his back. When other boys were out at play, he stood wistfully by the window and gazed at the roofs of the distant houses. And if by any chance he espied children playing on the open terrace of any roof, and his heart would ache with longing. One day, he summoned all his courage and asked his uncle, "Uncle, when can I go home?" His uncle answered, "Wait till the holidays come." But the holidays would not come till October, and there was a long time still to wait. One day, Fatih lost his lesson book. Even with the help of books, he had found it very difficult indeed to prepare his lessons. Now it was impossible. Day after day, the teacher would cane him unmercifully. His condition became so abjectly miserable, and even his cousins were ashamed to warn him. They began to jeer and insult him more than the other boys. He went to his aunt at last and told her that he had lost the book. His aunt pursed her lips in contempt and said, "You great clumsy country lout! How can I afford with all my family to buy you new books 5 times a month?" That night, on his way back from school, Fatih had a bad headache with a fit of shivering. He felt he was going to have an attack of malaria. His one great fear was that he would be a nuisance to his aunt. The next morning, Fatih was nowhere to be seen. All searches in the neighborhood proved futile. The rain had been pouring in torrent all night, and those who went out in search of the boy get drenched through to the skin. At last, Vishwambar asked help from the police. At the end of the day, a police van stopped at the door before the house. It was still raining and the streets were all flooded. 2 constables brought out Fatigue in their arms and placed him before Vishwambar. He was wet through from head to foot, muddy all over. His face and eyes flushed red, and his lips trembling. When his wife saw him, she exclaimed, "What a heap of trouble this boy has given us. Hadn't you better send him home?" Patik heard her words and sobbed out loud, "Uncle, I was just going home, but they dragged me back again." The fever rose very high, and all that night the boy was delirious. Vishwambar brought in a doctor. Patik opened his eyes, flushed with fever, and looked up to the ceiling and said vacantly, "Uncle, how the holidays come yet?" Vishwambar wiped the tears from his eyes and took Fatik's lean and burning hands in his own and sat by him through the night. The boy again began to mutter. At last his voice became excited. "Mother," he cried, "don't beat me like that. Mother, I am telling the truth." The next day, Fatik became conscious for a short time. He turned his eyes about the room, as if he was expecting someone to come. At last, with an air of disappointment, his head sank back on the pillow. He turned his face to the wall with a deep sigh. Vishwambar knew his thoughts and bending down his head, whispering, "Fatik, I have sent for your mother." The day went by. The doctor said in a troubled voice that the boy's condition was very critical. Fatik began to cry out, "By the mark 3 fathoms, by the mark 4 fathoms, by the mark." He had heard the sailor on the river steamer calling out the mark on the plumb line. Never was himself plumbing an unfathomable sea. Later in the day, Fatik's mother burst into the room like a whirlwind and began to toss from side to side and moan and cry in a loud voice. Vishwambar tried to calm her agitation, but she flung herself on the bed and cried, "Fatik, my darling, my darling." Fatik stopped her restless movement for a moment. His hand ceased beating up and down. He said, "Eh?" The mother cried again, "Fatik, my darling, my darling." Fatik very slowly turned his head and without seeing anybody said, "Mother, the holidays have come." Poor thing.